Welcome back to HypnoWitch. This is where I discuss hypnosis, mental health, spirituality, and their intersections. I'm Victoria. I'm a certified hypnotherapist and certified past life regression specialist. Today's episode 3, is going to be focused on how hypnotherapy can transform your life. Because the absolute most valuable aspect of hypnotherapy is hands down the transformation. This work is so incredibly powerful and so effective, and I'm going to be going into my own story, my own context within hypnotherapy, the way that I started my hypnotherapy journey, which was as a client, actually. So I'm going to give a little bit of vulnerability today. Let's get started. So hypnotherapy can be applied to an endless number of goals, and I'm really not exaggerating when I use the word endless. The person you are when you begin your hypnotherapy journey and the person you become along the way can end up being so vastly different in the best of ways, as the subtle yet powerful changes within your subconscious mind can really branch out into areas of your life you would have never expected in the beginning. So now I'd like to share a little bit of my journey within hypnotherapy. My hypnotherapy journey began in perhaps a similar place as a lot of people who may be listening to this podcast. I was first introduced to hypnotherapy as a client. I was curious, a little bit skeptical, but I was open to trying something new to see the results that I so badly wanted to see. I was already semi-informed of the power that the subconscious mind has over our lives, but not nearly as much as I am today. So my story starts in 2018. I was 30 years old, and I had been dating someone for roughly a year and a half when I experienced a shattering betrayal from this person. The person I'd been dating, someone to whom I had given my trust, my vulnerability, they went directly against the terms of our courtship and lied to me explicitly for the last several months of our time together. Needless to say, I was pretty shattered. I mentioned in a previous episode that I have complex PTSD, and this is something that I've had since childhood. So at the time of this betrayal, I had already been through several years of EMDR, which is a really effective PTSD therapeutic treatment that you can get with a therapist. I'd been through talk therapy. I had cultivated a pretty solid meditation practice, and I had come to understand the mechanics of my trauma as well as having had worked through a lot of my own. And yet, so much of the work I had done just kind of seemed to come crashing down around me as a result of this betrayal. It was deeply triggering. So being lied to so severely by someone I had allowed to get close to me was deeply and fundamentally triggering for me, and my CPTSD symptoms came flooding back. I didn't trust anyone, and I didn't even feel safe existing in my body. Not only did this make me feel unsafe, but it cast a shadow on my trust in myself. I let this person in, so I must be responsible. However, the responsibility of betraying a person's trust falls on the one who was doing the betraying and not the one who was betrayed. But, as much as I knew that logically, my nervous system had another story. So simply existing in my body felt like I was fundamentally unsafe just by being. I didn't know what to do, but I knew that in order to feel like myself again, I had to work with my subconscious mind and release the pain as safely and effectively as possible. So what did I do? I started researching local hypnotherapists in my area. I found one that I really resonated with. She didn't have a clinical look about her per se. She was more holistic feeling with a more creative and intuitive vibe about her, which I really liked. She seemed like someone I would relate to in my personal life, which gave me a sense of comfort. I reached out to her and I booked our first session together. Little did I know just how profoundly transformative this decision would be for me. I left that first session knowing that hypnotherapy was the right choice for what I wanted to achieve. I don't remember too many details about that first session anymore, but I do remember being met with empathy, compassion, and warmth, which was so relieving, as I was honestly terrified of being judged. I truly felt safe, which at the time was something I hadn't felt in months. After our first session together, I reached back out to her and I booked a multi-session package that she offered in order to continue our work together. I was ready to commit, and I'm so grateful that I did. The following sessions were so incredibly effective for me. I was able to shed old insecurities, build my confidence, and eventually release some deep and fundamental trauma that I've been holding onto since early childhood. Now, I want to be clear that this wasn't age regression, mind you. Age regression is a technique that is seriously frowned upon among hypnotherapists. It's best done with a psychotherapist. So this wasn't age regression. Right? However, what we did do is something that is referred to as a hypnodrama. This consisted of a scenario through which I was guided by the hypnotherapist, which I was allowed to kind of create as I went in my mind, which allowed me to create this dramatization in my mind of an imagined traumatic incident in order to access the trapped emotions hidden within my subconscious, if that makes sense. While the trapped emotions were absolutely a result of very real trauma, the hypnodrama is simply a device meant to serve as a catalyst to emotional catharsis. After that pivotal session, so much shifted within me for the better. This opportunity to access and express my trapped emotions was so beautifully freeing, as it helped me to get them out of my nervous system, allowing me to reset and create something totally new. This was the gift that my hypnotherapist provided for me, and it truly changed my life for the better. Even today, I still experience the benefits of having done hypnotherapy. My hypnotherapist allowed me to be completely vulnerable, compassionately and patiently holding space for me as she helped me to reprogram my limiting beliefs. She gently and skillfully delivered new suggestions to my subconscious mind, which allowed me to cultivate a sense of safety, security, and self-worth that fundamentally changed my life from then on. Just a few short months later, I had developed the courage to start dating again, and something incredible happened. I met someone very special, my current partner, with whom I'm about to celebrate our 4-year anniversary. There's no way I would have been able to put myself out there in the state I was in before hypnotherapy. Just no way. I'm just eternally grateful for trusting the process, taking the plunge, and investing in myself. I ended up benefiting from this work on such a greater level than I initially anticipated. My newfound sense of confidence eventually led me to enrolling in the Hypnosis Motivation Institute, which is the first nationally accredited hypnotherapy college and is where I graduated from. And I committed myself to mastering the art of hypnotherapy. I decided to dedicate my life to helping others unlock their own potential and experience life-changing personal transformation, which is an opportunity I'm grateful for every single day. With hypnotherapy, I was able to alchemize my deep pain and trauma into something positive, which powerfully shifted the entire course of my life, and the rest is history. While results vary from person to person with hypnotherapy, I will forever sing its praises as I continue to consistently witness its benefits firsthand with my clients. Let's take the concept of releasing limiting beliefs, which is a fundamental part of hypnotherapy. There is so much information going around these days about limiting beliefs, how to transform them, etc. But what exactly is a limiting belief? Beyond just a buzzword, Let's use our senses and really dissect what this term actually means, right? So, a belief is something we know to be true, usually without much question. For example, we know that the sun rises each and every day. We believe that to be true. We don't question it. It just is, right? So exist our subconscious beliefs. Whether they actually serve us or not, our subconscious mind, quote unquote, knows our beliefs to serve us for some purpose or another, as our subconscious exists to protect us by maintaining the status quo or by maintaining something called homeostasis. For example, your reality is this box you're kind of stuck in, right? If you're struggling in life, the box is gray, it's limited, it's restrictive. The routine you're stuck in is kind of ingrained within your mind, sort of like the movie Groundhog Day. Except you're not Bill Murray, you're you. And this isn't a movie, it's your very real life. Hypnotherapy comes in and allows the subconscious mind to dissolve this restrictive box, slowly allowing for more and more light to come in over time. And the cracks in the box get bigger and bigger, and more of the box starts dissolving away until you begin to see more and more light and color, more options, more solutions, which allows you to shift your entire perspective. Eventually, the box dissolves entirely and you can open your mind to brand new, beautiful, and exciting realities, experiencing so much more agency and creative freedom in your life than you ever thought possible for yourself. It's as if the box never existed in the first place. Hypnotherapy allows us to pivot to a more solution-based thinking. And if you're considering trying hypnotherapy or any other modality to improve your situation, you've already pivoted to solution-based thinking and you're on the right track. So when you're able to shift your beliefs or what your subconscious knows to be true, you're able to dissolve your perceived limitations and shift your whole entire reality. The reason hypnotherapy can work so much more rapidly than talk therapy is because talk therapy only works on a cognitive level, whereas hypnotherapy gets down to the very root of your issue, allowing you to shift it at the source. Hypnotherapy allows for the creation and reinforcement of new neural pathways in your brain, which help to support your desired changes much more swiftly and naturally than with talk therapy alone. It's the difference between reading about something in a book versus experiencing it yourself. Creating the new neural pathways in your brain allows your desired changes to occur as if you were already aligned with them to begin with, making the behavior changes seem almost automatic. Your brain is able to adapt these new changes because of something called neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to change based on new experiences and information. Neuroplasticity gives us the opportunity to shift homeostasis within the brain, allowing for deep, often permanent, positive change. On the topic of homeostasis and neuroplasticity, let's examine another common issue that folks commonly struggle with: self-sabotage. We've all experienced self-sabotage at some point in our lives. What if I told you that self-sabotage is the subconscious mind's way of protecting you? So when you want to make a change in your life but continually experience self-sabotage, this is your subconscious mind working its hardest to maintain homeostasis, or the status quo. The function of the subconscious is to protect us and keep us safe. And it does this by keeping our beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors within the specific parameters of what it perceives as truth. New beliefs, attitudes, opportunities, and choices can pose a threat to the subconscious mind simply because they're new and don't yet align with the current status quo. The beautiful thing about hypnotherapy is that it gives you the opportunity to go within the subconscious mind, utilizing neuroplasticity to shift your subconscious associations. This allows you to change up your personal homeostasis, making it more aligned with your intentions. This process can make your efforts exponentially more effective and longer lasting, sometimes even permanent. Just imagine what could be possible for you when you're able to harness the incredibly creative power of your subconscious mind. In conclusion, I hope you're able to see a glimpse of what may be possible for you as a result of this profoundly life-changing work. Hypnotherapy is not just about what you can release. It's also about what you can create. There is an abundance of beauty and joy available to you in this life. It's just about trusting the process and shifting things around a bit to get there. Well, I hope this was helpful. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. And you can find me on social media on Instagram and TikTok at Victoria Lee Hypnosis. And to book a one-on-one hypnotherapy session or past life regression session with me, you may do so through my website, victorialeehypnosis.com. All right, I'll see you next time.